Привет, всем привет! Welcome to my channel, AllasYummyFood. I'm Alla, the host of the show. I am so thrilled today to show you this recipe because not only it looks fantastic, it tastes incredible. I love my mousse desserts, and this one has mousse, chocolate and coffee in there and a super lovely vanilla sponge. This cake is something more of an advanced level, but trust me, I'll show you today how to make it so you can do it at home in your kitchen and then impress everybody around you. So if you're a big fan of coffee and chocolate, this dessert is for you guys. Yes, I'm looking right at you. And I'm very excited to announce that I have collaborated with Highfield Coffee. There it is. Oh my god, even when I shake it, it smells so good. I love this brand, guys. I've collaborated with them to do this amazing dessert, and we're going to be using two types of coffee, like sort of softer one and more golden one, and all the coffee comes from Colombia. I really love them because they're home family business trying to survive here in London, and it's my friend actually, so I really appreciate if you go check them out. And if you love coffee, this is the best stuff that you're gonna get. And of course we're going to incorporate it today into our recipe. And if you wanted to make that as well, so you know, now you have some ideas. Guys, so make sure you check them out. I will leave all the links down below in my description box. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now let's get started. First we're going to make our Genoise sponge. So in a bowl add your eggs, then add sugar. Whisk this on high speed until it triples in volume. So keep mixing for a good 5 to 10 minutes until the mixture becomes white and pale. Then you want to sift through your flour and cornstarch together in little bits. So keep sifting that through, and then using your spatula incorporate that together. Be very gentle, you don't want to knock too much air out. So just mix until it's done. Then you want to add melted butter, make sure it's warm, and mix everything again. The mixture should look like this. You want to then use any silicone mold, or if you're using individual molds, then make a large sheet. Spray it with some cooking oil so the mixture doesn't get stuck to your actual mold, and pour your mixture down. And we're going to bake this for about 10 to 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. Or until the toothpick comes out nice and clean. Once your sponge cake is done, you want to take it out and leave it to cool down before you unmold it. And once it has cooled down, you want to get rid of all the edges for the cake. And then of course we want to make it a little bit smaller than our mold so we can put it back in there. So I'm using a bread knife, very sharp one, and I'm just going around the edges, trimming all the sides and top and bottom. And I'm only leaving the main bit, and then I'm also going to cut this in half. Then take the first half and place it at the bottom of your mold. Next we're going to make our coffee syrup. Take your coffee, which is ready grinded, and then add into your pot and brew it. You don't have to use the best quality here because we're only using it for the syrup. Whilst it's hot, we're going to add sugar, and you want to mix that through and make sure it's melted, and that's your coffee syrup done. Yum. So we're going to soak our sponge with this coffee syrup, so just go around and make sure it's super moist. Now we're going to make our mascarpone cream. So in a bowl add gelatin with cold water, mix that through and leave it to bloom for 10 minutes. Then add your mascarpone cheese, vanilla extract, and mix everything together. Later on you want to add melted white chocolate and then mix everything again. And then you want to add your gelatin. Then mix everything together, and you want to get a nice smooth mixture. It looks like this. It's already looking beautiful. Then you want to add your whipped cream. Make sure it's soft whipped so you don't overmix as you're going to mix again. Once it's all mixed in, you'll be able to see it's nice and smooth. We want to place that into the piping bag and then place it all over the sponge cake and the sides of our mold. Just go around like a little square, and if you're making sort of mini ones, then you can do that on top. Then using a spoon, smooth it out and make sure it's nice and firm. Guys and girls, I have my recipe on my website at AllasYummyFood.com. You'll find full ingredients and also directions on how to make this. And also you'll be able to find loads of other recipes that I do for my channel. Just click on the picture and you'll be able to see the whole video with the directions and the full recipe in English and Russian languages. Now we're gonna make our chocolate CREMELEUX. Take the really nice High Fields coffee and I'm gonna grind mine, so these beans smell absolutely amazing. You don't even need a lot of them. Just put them in your grinder, move it along, and then brew your coffee as standard with your coffee machine. And you can see and smell it's so good. Because we're gonna taste this coffee in the dessert, you wanna make sure it's the really good quality. Pour it into your cup and then set it aside to completely cool down. And if there is any left over, why not have a cup of coffee while you're making the dessert? So in a bowl, add your double cream, then add your sugar, egg yolks, and then your coffee. We're going to mix everything together and make sure it's nice and smooth. And then we're going to place this onto the stove on the medium heat and cook this for about 5 to 10 minutes until the mixture starts to thicken up. You will see it starts changing the color and kind of becomes more thick. While it's hot, we want to add our chocolate in there and then leave it to melt and mix everything through. Then place it in a piping bag and go over your first mascarpone mousse. Just go over the mold and make sure it's nice and even. And then place it into the fridge to set. Now we're going to make our hazelnut praline. In a pan, add sugar, then add water. And don't mix anything, place it onto the stove and leave it to cook. Once the sugar melted, you can move the pan a little bit, but you want to caramelize the sugar. So once it starts to go brown, then you can go with your spatula and move it about. Once you're starting to see golden amber color, you're good to put your nuts inside. So add your hazelnuts, mix that through. And then I'm putting it into a prepared baking tray with parchment paper. Make sure you scrub down all the sugar, all the caramel basically, on top of the nuts and leave it to completely cool down and set. Once it's set, it will become like a nice rock candy. You want to blitz this in your food processor, so just break it into little pieces and blitz until you get this beautiful praline powder. It's really so delicious, guys. I can eat it all day. Now we're going to make our praline mousse. In a little bowl, add your gelatin with cold water, mix it through and leave it to bloom for about 10 minutes. In a small pot, add your sugar, water, and just place it on the stove to melt. We want to create a sugar syrup. And when it's melted, you're going to add this into your egg mixture and keep whisking on high speed until your eggs double in size and also become completely pale and white. Then add your melted gelatin into your mixture and mix everything again. Take your mixture and place it into a larger bowl, and you want to scrape down all the bits and then add your cream and mix everything together using a whisk. Mix everything until you sort of get a nice smooth consistency and the mixture, and then you want to add your praline powder and make sure it's nice and incorporated. It tastes really, really good. Take your mold, place another sponge on top of your chocolate mixture. Make sure it's soaked again with some coffee syrup, and then you're going to pipe down your praline mousse. Look at that, it's so delicious, so smooth. Use your spatula and even it out entirely. And then make sure you go from all the sides and it's nice and even and pressed inside. You want to freeze this for about 2 to 3 hours depending on how good your freezer is, because when we're going to put the mirror glaze, it needs to be completely frozen. So it should come out from your mold quite easily. Place it to decorate with some chocolate glaze. You can use any glaze that you like. I'm using my chocolate mirror glaze recipe where you can find it on my website. So just pour it down, go over the top and the bottom and make sure it's nice and chocolatey and very even. This cake is so good, guys. It's chocolate, it's coffee, it's cream, it's hazelnuts. Honestly, if you're a fan of these things, you're gonna love this so much. You can decorate it with some chocolate truffles, more praline powder, fresh strawberries. Use your imagination and decorate as you want. And because I love this cake, you can slice it into little squares and just get a piece of each layer, and it goes through so easily, and you can see all the individual layers that we have made. Yummy! It's super yum, super soft. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure subscribe, like this page, and leave a comment down below if you're a fan of chocolate and coffee. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.